It's the holiday time, and that means it is time for toast. Now, there's a lot of confusion about toast. You see these big, elaborate toasts when you see Hollywood movies, and it's intimidating. I want to give you some practical tips so that if you're at the dinner table this Thanksgiving, if you're here in the United States, uh, Christmas, Hanukkah, all sorts of major religious celebrations around the world, cultural celebrations. It's a time to be thankful and acknowledge people. And one of the best ways of doing it is through a toast. So let me go over some of the basics. For starters, do not feel intimidated that you have to be incredibly funny, that you have to be incredibly clever, that you have to have something elaborate. No, you can be very simple. For example, I want to toast someone in particular. Barb, I raise a toast to you. I really want to thank you for all the hard work you've done, the friendship you've done, the great community building you've done for this entire YouTube channel, Facebook group of Udemy students and other lifelong learners. Barb, to you. So
Thank you,
what I do
TJ.
there, you're welcome. What did I do? I looked at one person in the eye, in this case, virtually in the eye. I named something specific I was thankful for, and I raised my glass to them, took a little sip. Now, if we were in the same room and close enough, I might touch the glass. You don't want to have this big clanking. I've seen people break glasses. That's not what you want to do. A simple touch. Now, if you're at a big round table, you don't have to kill yourself lunging. You don't have to touch everyone's glass. Simply raising it, really look at people in the eye. That's what makes it meaningful and powerful. Note the toast I just did wasn't funny. It wasn't particularly clever, but it was real. I was sincere about that, Barb. I really do appreciate you. And in this time of Thanksgiving, at least here in the United States, I am thankful to you. And I'm thankful to a lot of people. I'm thankful to Moss, who's stopped by again every week for the last 4 weeks. So, Moss, thank you to you. I'm thankful to Santiago, who's going to join us in a minute and show us some of his great videos. So, the biggest mistake you can make when it comes to toast is the following: it's sitting there on your hands at the dinner table or at the restaurant thinking, "Ooh, I knew I should say something. I know I want to do a toast. Oh, I better be clever. Oh, what do I say?" And now the dinner's over, everyone's gone home, and you're driving home thinking, "Oh, I should have said this." That is the number one mistake you can make when you're giving a toast. So don't worry about, "Oh, I should have gone home and written out a whole script and practiced it for a week." No, you don't. Just speak from the heart, look people in the eye, and enjoy the moment. And don't worry about so many stuff. I mean, there are people who say, "Oh, never toast with water, it's bad luck." Disregard that. There may be all sorts of people for health reasons, other reasons, are not drinking any alcohol. That's okay. You can still toast with a glass of water, as I am today. So, here, my final toast. I want to thank you for being a part of this channel and watching right now. To you. Okay, so that's the segment, the opening segment. We'll use that for other content on the channel. That'll be sort of edited down. So I want to thank people for joining. I see Manav has joined us. Manav, great to see you today. Moss is here. Santiago will be joining us in a moment. Moss, give us a quick update and let us know what you're up to. And Manav, thanks for saying that was great advice. I hope you find that useful. By the way, for cultures where there's no alcohol, it still applies. You can be toasting with orange juice, apple juice, grape juice. I've never met anyone who was offended by some close family member, friend, colleague recognizing them and either toasting to their good health or thanking them for something. It's something everyone likes. By the way, quick technical note. Barb, have we had a check to see, are we going out on YouTube today? Because we did have a little bit of a mishap on
It's
last
it
week.
shows they are, but if you'll uh, let me check because that's what I was working on when you called me. So hang
That's
on.
not a bad idea. I could practice what I mean, I don't really like to multitask when doing sort of a live meeting, a live show, but it takes me 2 seconds to go to my own YouTube channel. So why don't I just pull that up on a separate screen? Because when you're dealing with technology and you're dealing with different application systems and different websites that interact, you never know what's really going to work and what isn't. Okay, so I see
You
that we
are
are live.
live.
Great.
You're live.
that's,
Yeah.
that's good news. Good news indeed. And I see Julia has joined us as well. And I'm going to go to Julia first. Moss, I do need you to do me one favor. We've talked about it before,
Right.
but when the camera is this low and I see this fan going
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
over your
turn that
head,
off.
it makes me dizzy. I
Right.
want you
Okay.
to find, I'm not asking you to spend any money, but I want you to find a stack of books. If you're using an iPad, a laptop, a phone, stack the books so that it's at your eye level. I don't want to see your ceiling. I don't want to see
Okay.
lights.
Yeah,
And
this is
I
temporary
realize,
today. I'm in a different
well, but I
room.
mean, I'm in my brother-in-law's bedroom. I still took the time. I'll just give you a little tour. He has a desk that raises. I took the time. I spent 5 minutes. I raised the desk. I'm in front. I made sure the window is in front of me. I put a light on myself. And this bed over here was behind me. And I thought, well, I don't want you to have to look at a messy bed. So I took the time of moving the bed around. And it's not a perfect backdrop, but I wanted to have decent eye level and I wanted to have as few distractions as possible.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to ask you to do right now. So if you don't
Okay.
mind, I'm
Hold
going to
on.
take you off and come back when you're ready for prime time. Okay. Sorry to give a little bit of tough love there. Julia, tell us what you're up to. And if you want to put your microphone, there we go. Nice to see you.
Hello. I just joined to the course. Um, it's my first day, but I have watched many videos with you and read a lot comments, and I'm so happy to see you in real life. Yeah, like, and thank you for this opportunity. And about me, that I don't know English very well because um, I have learned.
Time out 1 second. Time out 1 second. I'm going to have to seriously disagree with you because we've been listening to you for about 100 words so far. Your English is fantastic.
Oh,
Easy to understand. The vocabulary is great. The grammar is great. Your English, now, is your accent the same as mine? No, but it doesn't have to be. Your English is excellent. And I want you to act like you think your English is excellent at all times. Forgive me for being rude and interrupting. Please continue.
um, and I wanted to ask you. I can't. I made my video. I record yourself, but I can't put it anywhere like in this platform because it's like not allowed for me.
I understand.
From you.
What country are you in? If you don't, and if it's not
From
insensitive to ask, what country are you in?
Ukraine.
Hmm.
Ah, okay. Well, our hearts go out to you and your family and extended family with all the situation there. Are you able to upload to like a Google Drive or a Dropbox or any kind of thing? Because then if you just do a link, we can watch it from this end.
Mhm.
And are you able to access our Facebook page or not? You might not be able to access it, I understand.
Mm. Okay, I try, but I don't sure that I understand
Yeah.
correctly.
Okay. Now, if
Julia,
you recall, go ahead,
excuse
Barb.
me. Julia, I have several friends in the Ukraine. My question to you is right now we're on YouTube, and you were able to grab the link from and join us, but that is only because where did you grab that link from? Did you grab it from the Facebook group or from YouTube?
From Facebook.
from Facebook, so you were able to access there. Did you try accessing YouTube? Can you actually upload to YouTube?
I didn't try.
I think that's what my friends were doing, was direct to YouTube. I will look into that for you.
And
Okay,
just so
thank
I
you.
understand, you were able to access Facebook, but you couldn't
Right,
upload a video to Facebook. Is that what you're saying?
right.
Um,
It could have been your connection, Julia, but I will check with my friends because it changes all the time for your country.
okay,
The
thank
other
you.
thing I would point out to you, Julia, is we're happy to have you just do a sample presentation here live. I mean, we are connected
Right.
right here now. So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with you just giving us, saying, here's a speech I'm going to give to this group, or here's what I want to say at the beginning of a job interview, and just talking to us for 60 seconds, however long you want. We can critique that. Plus, this will be recorded and you can see it on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel if you can access that. But first, I do want to give you a couple of thoughts, which is congratulations, you've just joined the course today. You're in a country where there's a lot going on. You've got a lot of other things you could be dealing with, and you're still taking the time to take this very seriously. So I want to applaud you for that and say you're already in the top 1% of, I take that back. You're not in the top 1% of students. You're in the top 0.1% of students, because not only are you speaking out, you're speaking out live and you're doing it the first day you're in the course. So that is fantastic. Speaking is one of these skills where just deciding to do it and not waiting for something perfect and not waiting to be motivated and not waiting for inspiration is what will make you truly successful. So very happy to have you on board here and a part of this. And again, to my ear, your English sounds great and you're coming across very clearly. Manaf in our comment section pointed out that I had said the same thing to him the other day when he was on with us. So we applaud you for that. I want to bring on Santiago, and forgive me, I didn't realize you were there. Santiago, I'm just wondering if you have any quick thoughts on Julia, how she's presented to us already, and any words of motivation for her.
Perfectly. I understood everything. It was perfect. I don't think there is anything to be ashamed of if you have an accent or if you don't get it grammatically 100% correct. And just keep it going. And I think you're right, TJ. That Julia, you're exceptional in the sense that you dare to come out and speak with all of us. No matter how many people are watching, you're here speaking with us. That's great.
Yeah,
Nice.
and there are
Congrats.
people who have. There's no such thing as not having an accent. Everyone in the world has an accent. I have an American accent with a slight tinge of a Southern accent, since I did in fact grow up in the southern part of the United States. But everyone has an accent. There's no one perfect accent. There are people with strong Indian, Pakistani accents who have 10 million subscribers on YouTube and are a lot more successful than I am. So I'm a big believer, you shouldn't worry about your accent as long as people can understand you and you come across as clear. And Julia, you've already met that threshold by a mile. We're going to go to Santiago in just a minute. I did promise you up first. Julia, first tell us, what's your main goal when it comes to your communication skills? What are you trying to do? What do you need to have happen in the next 4, 6 weeks for you to say, wow, I really reached a milestone. I did something that dramatically helped my career in life.
Mhm. Uh, Last 5 years, I'm in maternity leave. I have two little kids, and I have noticed that, um, like, sometimes I'm afraid to communicate with some very important people, some very famous people, you know.
Well, I'm very important, and I'm just kidding. No, I understand, because sometimes if you're with family and small kids all the time, you almost feel like you've lost the ability to talk to adults. I've definitely heard that phenomenon. But You're coming across well. Ultimately, I believe all human beings are the same at this level, in that if they hear someone speaking and they're interesting, they'll pay attention and like it. If they hear someone speaking and it's boring, they don't like it. As long as you understand that, it doesn't really matter who you speak to. I apologize. Please continue.
Yeah, and I want just to be more confident in it and have opportunity to explain what I want. Yeah.
Great. Well, you've come to the right place. I'm glad you're in the course. I'm especially happy you're speaking out now. Here, I want to give you one homework assignment. I want you to practice on your own, record it, even if you can't post it anywhere. And then join us next week, next Thursday at a regular time. I want to hear 20% more volume out of your mouth and more energy.
Mm-hmm.
That one thing will make you appear to be more confident.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens when we get nervous, we tighten up our body, our volume goes down, our energy level goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I could say everything I say the same way, if I talk like this all the time, I would not be perceived as very confident. If I say exactly the same thing with a little more volume, a little more energy and animation, I am perceived as confident. See the difference?
Yeah. Thanks.
Great.
It's really.
Thanks so much, Julia. Stay with us, though. I'd love to get your feedback from and for the other colleagues who are speaking out too. Santiago, if you don't mind joining us, and I very much appreciate your patience. Tell us what you've been working on.
Thanks. I been working on a video these last days, which is a little bit in a delay because I've been having visits here. But my goal is to post one video a week. I don't know for how long I will be able to do that, but hopefully for a long time, and hopefully eventually I will be able to ramp it up a bit. But for now, I'm just focusing on practicing in front of a camera because I am. I tend to choke as soon as I hit the record button. I tend to overthink what I'm saying, and this is something that I need to get rid of, and that's why I'm practicing in front of a camera and publishing it on YouTube, and not caring too much about audience at the moment.
Okay, and that's a perfectly fine attitude. I mean, the beauty of YouTube, as opposed to going on live on the BBC or CNN or Al Jazeera, is if you do choke, you just stop and hit delete and you do it over. So remind yourself there's no pressure. It's not that infrequent. I would say 1 out of 20 videos I make, I might literally choke. I might start talking in the first sentence, I just hit delete and I do it again. Every once in a while, I'll start off because I don't script my YouTube videos, social media videos, or for that matter, my online courses. I don't script it other than occasional bullet points of broad outlines. So I'll occasionally do something and say, you know what? That sounds stupid. I just hit delete. Takes all the pressure away. But where I do think it's crucial to give yourself pressure is the deadline of some output by a certain date. Now, for some people here, doing a 30-minute course in the next year is a great goal. I like goals a lot closer and a lot sooner, because if it's a year from now, you can always procrastinate 11 months and you haven't technically broken your goal, your promise yet. I love that you're trying to give yourself the goal of once per week, because it's very hard to get nervous speaking in front of a camera if you've been doing it every single week for the last year. It becomes normal. It becomes just something else you do. Barb, I don't know if you remember the very first time you left a voicemail message. That felt weird and strange. And maybe it does today for some people because so few people leave voicemail. But there was a time when it felt strange. Oh, hi, I'm talking to your voicemail. And then it got to the point where it's just like talking to a human being. It saves time. You leave a message. You don't think about it. It's the same thing with creating a video that you're posting on YouTube or other social media, or talking to people live on Zoom. When you do it regularly, it's hard to choke up because it's like breathing. It's that simple. So I think it's fantastic. You're giving yourself the goal. I also think it's great that you're holding yourself to high standards for editing and making it look good, with one caveat. Some people use the excuse of, well, it's not quite right. I want to polish this and do this. And they're falling into the trap of perfectionism, which is really about insecurity. Oh, I'm afraid someone might criticize me. And you can perfect and edit and edit. There's no such thing as a perfect video. I've never made a perfect video. Now, someone could make the case I'm so far on the other extreme because for years I put out thousands of videos with literally zero editing. And some of them got 40,000 views and some of them got 3 views. I think there's something in between, and I try to do a happy medium now because I have editors who work with me as a team, and we do edit the videos I put out on social media. So as long as you're not using that as an excuse to skip a week, because the problem is if you give yourself the goal of one a week, and it's Friday or whatever the end of your week is, and you think, well, it's not perfect. Let me just tweak this a little more. Now you're into the second week. Now you've started a habit of not posting for a week. It's very easy to go 2 weeks. Well, if I didn't post last week and nothing bad happened, I don't have to post this week. The next thing you know, I don't want you to be one of these people who posted 6 videos in 2 months, meant to do more, and 2 years later went by, and they think, oh yeah, I did that YouTube thing, and oh, that's just a gimmick. It doesn't really work. I did it, tried, nothing happened. Well, very few people have anything meaningful happen after 6 videos. And the vast majority of wildly successful YouTubers and people on social media posted often hundreds of videos for 5 years before they really gained traction or anything truly meaningful in a positive way happened for them. So that's why I would urge you, yeah, hold yourself to high standards, but one of the standards has to be, I'm getting it out once a week no matter what. Something I'll offer to you right now, really anyone, if you want to share with us your rough draft, we can put it out right now. We can give you feedback because it may be we see it and we could spot something that we think you need to improve that would be helpful. It may be we see it and say, oh my God, it's fantastic as it is. Post it right now. That's meaningful feedback too. You never know. Do you have any? I'll leave it up to you, obviously, but do you have any footage you would like to share and get a rough draft?
Yes, I do. I do have footage on YouTube that I've shown you and your guests at two.
No, I mean of your new stuff that you haven't posted yet. Do you have?
Yeah, I'm trying to upload. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying of the rough version. Do you have anything you want to share with us?
I'm uploading it at the moment, and it's not appearing. And I've tried with my phone. I don't know how you do it because I do it with my phone. I film everything with my phone, and then I have the problem of transferring it to my computer. So I don't know if maybe even there's an opportunity for you to give a tip.
Let me ask a technical question to Barb. Can he just connect with us right now through his phone and we do the present share with his phone? Is that possible? And Barb may have had to step away for a moment, but
yeah.
No, there is a way to do that. But putting Santiago on the spot to do that on a day when Barb has a head cold that's out of this world. Okay. Remember how I was telling you I was feeling a bit picked on?
Well, we don't want to pick on you, and we don't have to do that.
Yes,
let me find a simpler solution. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Barb.
Anyone using StreamYard can access StreamYard from mobile devices as well as their computer systems. And the way you can access it is you have to have the link to the studio. So that means it would have been emailed to you. You would have gotten it in Messenger or so forth. But you would have to click on that link from the device you want to enter the studio with. So it is a little bit too geeky to do that this morning, Santiago, with him. So, but I empathize, and I just have to ask, for a pass because I haven't got it in me today.
Sure, no problem, Barb. Yeah, option B, Santiago, do you have another video that we have not looked at before that's either on your YouTube channel or anyplace else where you'd like a little feedback?
No, I've been at this for 3 weeks now, and I only have
Okay.
two, and I'm happy to skip the draft as well because
Okay.
I'm a bit embarrassed about but
Well, there's a
I'm
lot of YouTube experts and a lot of creators in general who say if you aren't profoundly embarrassed by your first work or your first 100 videos, you waited too long.
yeah.
So don't worry about being embarrassed. There's plenty of things that I see that I'm embarrassed about, but I leave it up anyway because that's a part of the journey. Now, there are some YouTubers who go back and carefully curate, taking away anything they think is less than perfect. But the most successful ones, you'll see you'll see, I think the very first video Mr. Beast ever did when he was 14 years old, and he's this little kid, and he's talking like this, and he's in his mommy's bedroom, and it's still there. He's sharing with the world, and he certainly had the last laugh there.
Can I
Santiago, are you
can I
willing to
just say
give us a commitment? When are you going to post this next video? Because you
I'm
are
hope
frankly in that danger zone where people do a few, they don't get instant wealth and fame, and it's really easy to quit now. I don't want you to quit.
no. I'm going to try to publish it tomorrow, and I
Great.
can share it on the Facebook if you're interested, if you're curious about
Please
it.
do.
And I'm curious to hear. You're always curious to hear your opinion and the ones of the group members as well. It's
Yes.
always very helpful, even the negative feedback
Yep.
about it. Like that's
Happy
always
to do
helpful.
that, but I need you to do me one favor. Post the video, but then I want you to post specific questions you have of our audience of where you're looking for feedback. Let us know if you think, hey, at 2 minutes in, I don't know if this graphic really works. Or at 3 minutes in, I brought in different music. Is it confused? I need you to ask specific questions because there's two problems we have, frankly. Barb and I talk about this all the time with our students is A, they're not posting anything of their video. We can't help them. B, they are posting just a video of their practice, which we're happy to do that. I'm glad you're posting practice. But C, when you have your own content, whether it's for TikTok or Facebook video or YouTube video, the problem is sometimes people just throw it up. They don't ask any questions. And then when Barb leaves a comment or I leave a comment or someone else, they don't respond. We have no idea if they looked at it. So we kind of feel like we're wasting our time. So the best way to frankly get use out of me and get your money's worth for the course is anytime you're making a video for YouTube or any social media, post the link in the Facebook page, the student Facebook page, ask one or two or more specific questions of where you'd like feedback, because Barb will give it to you. I will give it to you. And then acknowledge it so we don't feel like we're wasting our time. Because some people do post their videos, we never hear from them again. It doesn't matter if one person comments or 20, no reaction. We just get the sense that they kind of put us on the distribution list. That's not really what the purpose of the forum and the student community group is all about. So
I
please,
I
can
did
you do that
I
for
have
us?
Yeah, definitely. I have posted two videos now. On the first ones, you critiqued the lighting, and I got critique on maybe trying to get the explanation, the definition earlier on the video. So that was a question that I had on my follow-up video, and I think 4 of you did respond to it, and so
Great.
I'm constantly improving based on the implemented or by implementing your tips, not only yours, TJ, but also the rest of Barb and
Fantastic.
the rest of the
Yeah,
community. And I'm
it's
very
not just
grateful about
about
that.
me. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
Santiago, thanks so much. Really
thanks a
appreciate
lot.
it. Stay
Thank you.
with us.
Sure.
I hope we didn't
Who-
lose him.
I
Oh,
saw
did you
that
come back?
swirling black
Yeah.
sign, so I think I lost contact for a minute.
Yeah,
Barb, are you
you're
able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Great,
Yes.
fantastic. I do want to invite, I see Manif in the cut. Join us. We'd love to hear about your latest editing project and trends you see in social media since you're there in the trenches every day. Let's go back to Moss and see how he's doing. Moss, if you'd like to join us, we're Moss.
Okay.
Okay, Moss, we love you. We want you. We're pulling for you. We want you to do really well, and we want you to get a job. But you're making life difficult for yourself, not for us. The one thing I begged you the very first time you ever came on was this was what, a couple months ago.
Right.
Don't ever have a window behind you
Oh,
because now you become literally a shadowy figure.
yeah.
Let me show you what I'm talking about. I could have easily done this today
Yeah.
with doing exactly what you're
Right.
doing with a window behind me. There, how do I look? Do I look trustworthy, Moss?
No, no.
Do I look like someone you want to put faith in, give money to, hire?
No, no, yeah, I guess
So that's what you're doing, okay?
this is temporary today.
I'm in a temporary space. I'm on a
Yeah,
vacation at my family's house. I'm just in a bedroom. Look, I don't
right,
show you
right.
all this. This is where my daughter slept last night. It doesn't get any more temporary than where I am. I need you to spend 60 seconds thinking every single time about how to communicate your best. So I'm gonna take you off. I want to
Right.
invite you back, but it doesn't take but 10 seconds. Look, again, here's what I would have done if I had just showed up in the room and just done whatever.
Mhm.
You can't see me.
No,
I
no.
took a little bit of time. I turned one light on. I figured out the angle, and I made sure I didn't have a window behind me. Okay.
Right. Yeah,
And I've got the camera at my eye level. The camera is not at your eye level.
right.
It's just not. It's low. Again, I'm not asking you to spend money. Do you have a book in your house?
Yeah, I think I can
Get a
arrange.
couple of
Give me
books.
a few minutes and I'll come back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I
not
gotta
that
I gotta
hard,
step
Bob.
out for a second anyway. Something came up.
Okay, we're pulling for you, but we want
Right.
you to come across your very best when
Right.
you're doing a job interview.
Exactly.
And
All right.
but you got to work with us, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Try it again and come back with us
Okay.
when you're ready, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, Barb, am I being too mean or tough, or am I missing something? Or
Well, he may want to ask a question about something that he's, done in his search and that. So, I mean, he can do the audio thing only it's like his mission here today. But I don't know. He's trying hard. So I have to give him credit for that.
okay. All right. Let's see if we have any other chat. And by the way, Manaf, I don't know if you're still with us. Again, we would love to hear from you and appreciate you coming by. And we are happy to take text comments. If you're seeing this on demand on YouTube, please leave comments. I do respond to every single comment that comes in. Now, at some point, it might not be possible, but right now, our traffic is growing and we're seeing more and more people come in, but I'm still able to answer comments. They're typically, several dozen per day across YouTube and other social media platforms. So it's still a manageable thing. And I very, very much appreciate feedback and commentary. Quick program note or meeting note, we will be back at our regular time next week. We will be back to the normal schedule, which is Thursday, 10:45 Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. And for those of you who are our Udemy students, we'll be back same time at 10 a.m. Eastern Time next Thursday as well. Barb, I've got some other sort of housekeeping matters I'm going to need to end probably around the bottom of the hour, around 11:30 Eastern time today, because I've got a whole family all waiting for me to go out on to an event and a luncheon today in the preparation for Thanksgiving festivities, and do want to wish special Thanksgiving joy to so many people watching this who are our viewers. If you celebrate Thanksgiving this time of year, it's different in other places. Canada has a different Thanksgiving. I know other people have different names for very similar celebrations. So wishing everyone the best with all of their celebrations as we move into a time of year that is known around the world for so many different holidays. Barb, any other thoughts you have before I go into a few more housekeeping matters?
I'm every Thanksgiving when it rolls around and I'm doing something online the day before, I cannot help but think of the first year in that I was working with the Prodigy Network in developing community on that proprietary network. And I just, that whole network, it was a big deal to get over 1 million subscribers to the platform. And people don't realize that today. There are Facebook groups with over 1 million members in each group. Some of them, there's one that I know of that's like 3.5 million members in one group. And so I am thankful that I had the wherewithal to actually stay up with the technology, because it has been one amazing wild ride. And just what happened in the last few days in the world of artificial intelligence, when I got all involved with the PC technology, it was like IBM was the only thing there ever was. And people, you mention IBM, it's a foreign word nowadays, pretty much. And then came Microsoft, Bill Gates, and all of that. But it's like everything they did. I mean, I had all these certifications, everything, every move, every step they took, get certified in this, get certified in that. But they were never the best. I'm sorry. They always had major flaws. And so what happened in the last couple of days in artificial intelligence really brought things front center to me, in that I am using the Edge browser daily now. I did not used to use it at all. And one of the primary reasons I use it is because I can use AI not only to create images for my social media work, but also the text. I can use it for research right there beside me, or on the side panel while I'm in those Facebook groups, while I'm doing my work online. And not only that, I have it through my Microsoft applications, Word, and I'm a big Word user, but text-based user. But the thing is, I can pull it up the AI right in there to help me out. And I'm thinking, I am so grateful to have lived through this time and staying up with it. And I think that's what everybody needs to do.
Yeah, great point, isn't it? It's an exciting time. Again, I was just speaking to a family member earlier today about, while I'm not the greatest technologist, I do feel the need and the desire to spend time using AI on a daily basis. I mean, I'm using it constantly to come up with suggestions for titles for YouTube videos and descriptions, and just the sheer amount of time savings when I can put in, the video we're doing here, for example, I can plug it into AI and ask it to come up with the time codes for the entire video and post that in the description, and it can do it in a couple seconds. It would take me 3 hours to do that. So these are indeed, very amazing times. Whether some worry that AI is going to, well, short term, take every single job away, long term, destroy destroy the world. I think we still have time for it to really make a huge improvement to the world. The other things, I'll leave it to others to predict when and where that might happen, if ever. I do think right now we're living in a time where it can create massive value, massive wealth for a lot of people who harness it the right way. And it is indeed exciting times. I'm going to put a post, I'll make sure I'm putting it in the right place, but I want to say a special hello to a number of our new ambassadors. Last week, we announced the beginning of a new ambassador program for people who want to really invest more of their time in becoming master communicators, but are not looking at investing money. So it's a partnership program that I have with people around the world. If you're interested in becoming a communicator, a really master level communicator, and you want to go beyond what you're learning in any one or two of my courses, and you've got more time to invest than money, I'd urge you to check out our ambassador program. I just posted the link in the comments section. And Barb, you can tell me if I posted in the wrong section or not, but check that out. We've had 7 ambassadors join us in the last week. And I want to say a special hello and thank you to them, but check that out. Now let's go to Moss. It looked like he did improve things. Moss, if you want to put your camera back on, and let's see how you look. Because I did just see you flash up a moment ago.
Yeah. It was much better, Moz.
Yeah, we did. I did see. I could see your face.
He probably gave up on you, TJ.
Yeah. And Barb, I'm getting a comment saying I can't post comments to some destinations.
Right.
Did the
That's
post-
because we can't post them to Facebook, but it went to YouTube. And that's where you wanted it to go.
Well, I just did a post to a Google Doc.
Right, but
were you able to see
the
that?
comments go directly to YouTube. It'll be on your YouTube channel as a comment to this particular video.
Okay, great.
That's where that goes.
And Moss, if you're still with us, again, I apologize if I in any way seemed rude. I didn't want to seem rude, but I don't want to see you, frankly, making the same mistakes, because we've got to see constant improvement with all of our communication if we want better results. Because the classic definition, which Einstein never actually said, of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We can't communicate the same way and expect a job offer if we're communicating the same way that led to us not getting job offers. We have to constantly improve. And that's what I'm hoping to do with myself and really hoping to do with everyone. So, and Moise, if for some reason you had to step away, we understand. You're more than welcome to come back next week. All I ask is don't start off with the window behind you and dark fuzzy face and with the camera looking up. So again, here's the thing I always talk about. This is the common way people look on camera. Here's how I look. And you see, lights behind me, my face is dark. You're kind of looking up my nose. But this is how the camera would be if it's just at a normal desk length. And it's just not flattering. And I happen to be lucky enough that here on vacation, my brother-in-law loaned me his desk that does come to different lengths. But I've done this many times on the road in a hotel room, and I just put it on top of my suitcase so that it's back at the proper height at my eye level. So I do want you to constantly think about, in all of your communication, 2 major spheres. There's the style, things like this affect the style. There's the substance. Never a case of one being more important than the other. You always have to have both. And that's what's going to make you a master communicator, an effective communicator, and that's what's going to bring you more success. Oh, I see Moss is back. Okay, Moss, come back. And looking much better. The lighting is much better, and now we can see your face. I am a big believer. People don't get hired on job interviews if they can't have their face seen. The only exception is if you're doing a tryout at a symphony and they want to do totally blind tryouts, that's different. but for any other job, they need to see your face. Okay. Moss, tell us what you've been up to. And if you don't mind, give us an update on what we talked about last week, which is I wanted you to actually go out and meet real people in your industry and not spend all your time typing and sending out resumes. Any update there?
Yeah, well, I really lucked out because somebody in my high school class is now also in Austin, and he had just gotten a job with a subsidiary of Bosch Electric and Volkswagen, and apparently he had been working as a contractor for them for about a year, and now he's becoming a Volkswagen employee. And I contacted him, and we're going to have lunch on Friday.
Great.
And I'm going to try to pick his brain because he knows a lot of people in Austin, and try to get some more information about and if there's any groups, of IT techs to get together. I think he knows quite a few people, so he'd be a good resource for me to get started.
Fantastic. It's great that you reached out. And quite often, close personal connections are a great stepping stone to someone who is one step removed. And it's often the person who doesn't really know you who's the one who opens the door and says, "Oh, yeah, my manager just said yesterday, Smithers quit last night in a huff. We're desperate for someone. We don't have time for a job search.
Right.
We got to get a warm body in here. Can you come in tomorrow at 9 a.m.? And if it works out, you may need to start." That's often the best connection. So it's not your actual high school classmate. He's the connection to the next person who gets the meeting for you, who brings you in as a warm lead. They feel more comfortable about bringing you in because they were introduced to you through that classmate. So that's great that you're doing that.
Okay.
Well, we wish you luck there. Have you been meeting
Yes.
any other people? Have you been going to meetups? Have you been hanging out at the Starbucks next to the Google Plus in downtown, or the Google Fiber next to in downtown Austin?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start doing that.
Okay,
when
great.
I have
Great.
more
Well,
time.
Moss, we wish you the best of luck. Santiago, Barb, Manaf, Julia, all of you for joining us today. I really want to thank you for your time, especially on this holiday week, and hope you have a great weekend. If it's your regular weekend, if it's your holiday, hope you have a great holiday, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Take care.
Okay.